Hey everyone, I'm going to be making a video about Valorant, Riot's new game that is all the buzz right now. This game looks to be the competitor of Counter-Strike Go, and I'm going to show you different locations where you can spend certain abilities of certain characters to possibly distract and get the jump on your enemies. Similar to Counter-Strike Go, having the chance to get abilities on the battlefield that gives you the advantage is necessary to win some rounds. However, getting the abilities to key locations can be rather difficult, especially if there are some enemies most likely awaiting for you to come around the corner. Being able to surprise the enemy while rushing forward or taking back a site to defuse a bomb could be easier if you get said certain abilities on the field before you actually expose yourself. The map I will be doing today is Split, a 2-bomb site newest to the game that was not available on alpha. I have 4 characters that I've been working on getting the locations where you can use said abilities away from the enemy, keeping you safe but also giving you an advantage on the site when you move in. The first character we'll be looking at is Brimstone. With his incendiary grenades, he can lob a shot into an area and deal damage that can force enemies to move locations and expose themselves once you move in. The second character is Raze. Her grenade itself is one pain in the butt. You can throw it, and after the explosion, there's 4 smaller shrapnel explosions that go off a second later, dealing even more damage. The only downfall to her grenade is that there is a set time that it will explode automatically once you throw it. So in this episode, she cannot do any surprise attacks to bomb site B that you couldn't do by just running on the site anyways. Our third character is Sova. Sova actually has 2 abilities that you can use to great extent. One is an arrow that reveals the locations of enemies in real time, but it can be destroyed, so you want to make sure you have it in a decent location. And his second ability is an area of effect electrical arrow that explodes once it has landed. Our final character is Sage. Her slow is an amazing ability and can stop enemy teams from rushing on a site instantly. From experience, I see people avoid walking on her slow at all costs because it leaves you too exposed and vulnerable once you start walking on it. And without further ado, let's start with our first character, Brimstone. So from this point forward, you will always be located as a star, and the circle will always be the area that you are affecting. The first one is attacking A on Split. You come up beside the crown store, right at the corner, and you look up right at the corner there. Once you fire, give it a couple seconds and it will land dead center of the ramp. The next one will be blocking out screens at the back of site A. You're going to move up, most likely to the same position, except you're going to get on top of this flower box here. You're going to look and go right at that shadow. You're going to move forward, jump, and fire when you're at the peak of your jump. And you'll see that the incendiary grenade goes right to the back. The next one is going to be window overlooking site A. So you're going to move pretty much to the similar position as you did last one, except you're going to be on the opposite side of the planner. You're going to look up to that lowest light, fire, and it's going to go directly right into window. The last one for Brimstone on site A is A back, which is the back little crevice where people love to hide. What you're going to do is you're going to move forward and go in front of the planter. You're going to line yourself up at the bottom stones there, and you're going to look high in the sky and see that line there. You're going to line that up with the greenhouse window, and once you do, you fire. And you will see that after a few seconds, it will land right in the back, forcing anyone who's back there out. The first one for Brimstone on bomb site B is the back of site. What you're going to need to do is come up to this pylon here and walk right up to it. Pull out your incendiary and you're going to line up the building with the wires. Simply line them up and fire. Give it a few seconds and the incendiary will explode and anyone hiding behind that box will get hit. Next on bomb site B is the window, but you need to take into consideration that it will not cover the entire window. But what you need to do is come up behind the sheet metal here, and you're going to look up to the very, very top of the building where it disappears into the sky. Simply line it up and fire. Ollie. Now, as you can see, it only covers the left side of the window, so take that into consideration. And the last location for Brimstone is below window. You have to do it a little bit differently. You have to go to the very back portion here. And you're going to line up the satellite and the corner of the building. Simply line that up and fire. Molly. You'll see the grenade bounce a few times, and then afterwards, it'll light up the whole bottom portion there. Now we're going to move on to Raze. Unfortunately, on bomb site B, she can't do any special tactics because the grenade itself is timed. But on bomb site A, there is 3 locations I found that were actually semi-decent. The first one is going to be ramp. What's going to be done is you're going to go up and jump up on top of this planter. You're going to turn on and line up with the pipe. You're going to move forward, jump, and throw. The next one for Ray is very tricky, but it's inside a window. What you have to do is you have to move up and put your back against the planter. The crown store and this balcony will line up right here as so. You're going to put the aimer at this corner location here, move forward. Once you get to the corner of the crown store, you're going to jump and throw. And last but not least for Raze is going to be outside a window. What you're going to do is you're going to jump up onto the planter like you did with Brimstone at the right side. You're going to look at this corner spot here, move forward, jump, and throw. Next, we're going to move on with Sova. Like I said, he has an area of attack arrow and a sensor arrow. The first one I'm going to show you is a defensive one for site A. All you have to do is stick your head out of A window, shoot it at this pillar, and anyone who's coming towards A will be highlighted. The next one for Sova is when you're retaking A. You're going to come up behind this bench, you're going to look at the beam going high in the sky and line it up with the edge of that building. You're going to go halfway between the beam and the wall and fire.
Revealing area.
The arrow will take some time, but it will land right on top of the stand. The next shot for Sova is the AoE. Now this one is the exact same shot as the second one. The only thing is you move the cursor a little bit closer to the wall and then fire.
Shock dart.
And as you can see, it'll go just behind the display, shocking anyone hiding behind it. The final shot for Sova on site A is another shock arrow. Now again, you're going to go behind the bench, but you're going to go halfway up to the building and line up with the line, go a little bit to the right and fire. And you'll see it'll land right at the back, causing a shock to anyone hiding back there. Now the sensor arrow for Sova is very precise. You have to get up and go to this back corner. Now these 2 big leaves, there's a little triangle. You have to put your arrow right at the tip of that and fire.
Revealing area.
After about 8 seconds of flight time, it'll land right on top of the stand and reveal itself. And for the shot dart on site B, you go up to the same position, and with that leaf that is hanging down, you just aim towards it and fire.
Shock dart.
Once the bolt lands, it'll damage anyone past the wood structure. And now we're going to move on to Sage with her slow. The first one I'm going to show you is a defensive throw at A. For the start, you come out of a window and you go into the corner, you turn around, look at the bottom of the left side of the A, and just throw. The orb will bounce off the wall and land in lobby, blocking off sewer. The next one will block out window and ledge. So what you're going to do is you're going to go towards the crown, stand at the corner, look right at the ledge there, jump and throw. When the orb hits the wall, it'll drop, covering all of ledge and half of inside window. And the last one for Sage at A site is screens. What you need to do is jump back on the planter, you go to the corner, you look up to the bush and line it up with the building, simply jump and throw. First one for Sage at B site is the back of B. So you go up to the top corner here, you pull out your orb and you line up the power cables with the side of the building. You line them up together and throw. The The next one will cut off half of B, hopefully catching someone in the slow. What's going to happen is you're going to come from behind and you're going to line up yourself at the corner and come out and line it up with the wood. You're going to pull out your orb, look at this leaf right here, and throw. And last but not least, for Sage on B, you got to block out that heaven. So what you're going to need to do is come up to the corner and hug yourself against all this stuff. You see this sign here, you're going to move up so it just goes out of range. Then you're going to look up and look at the power lines and the satellite. You're going to line it up and throw. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I'll be working on the other two maps as soon as I can.